This is Monster Energy Supercross 2, the official video game. So yeah, obviously this is a motocross game. It is a sequel. The first title, I guess, did well enough to get a sequel going. This is from Milestone, basically. They developed it. They're known for their biking games, so that obviously makes sense. It's a really dirty, gritty kind of game. There'd be intense music playing in the menu and during the game, but I've turned it off for copyright reasons, just so you know. First off, we got single player. You can do either like just a single event. You can do time attack. There's career. There's championship, and there's the compound. So they actually have like a full sort of testing area where you can actually try out things and do practice and stuff. You know, we talk about practice, not talk about the game. We're talking about practice. And then there's Xbox Live, where you can go and compete against others, quick matches. You can create a custom match if you want to. Different options to it, different event styles, and tweaks and AI customization. So Xbox Live, there's the customize option where you can have custom rider, custom bikes. You kind of unlock gear and such by playing, collecting credits, working your level up in the game. Fairly straightforward. There's a track editor, which we're going to show after we get to a bit of gameplay. So I thought the championship might be fun to jump into. It makes sense. I'm not too far into it, just because, you know, it's kind of biking and everything like that. So here we go. We got this race. There's certain options, and you can do rider selection. Generally, this is strangely like the default, so we're just gonna play that. The race is short, but I'll just kind of show off the different race types you can have. So they actually kind of get a bit authentic with this one in terms of the options that are present for your biking, and you can adjust the physics and change other things, as you're seeing here. The rewind feature, which I really do feel strongly should be an essential part of modern racing titles. Just makes it more fun, just generally. Although this one is very generous in terms of basically getting you right back into the action, because it's fast-paced laps, quick action. So that is kind of essential, otherwise you're just completely out of the race. And yeah, no, it can be quite evened. There's a good sense of difficulty if you do want to turn it up a bit, or generally, you know, really you can tune it to your style, and you can adjust how difficult or how authentic it is based on your preferences for the game. So we are on Xbox One X, which is, of course, pretty awesome. Yeah, we're gonna just jump into here. Another round. So it's not saying that it's got a 4K resolution, but it is an enhanced resolution, and there is HDR support, which is pretty cool. I think visually it actually looks pretty good once we get into the game. Here's just the general starting area where they're chatting and kind of, you know, doing the announcements, the pump up. It's very much like a, I don't know if I want to say like a PR based sort of industry to a degree. It's very much about like style and show off, and you can kind of unlock, I don't know how to describe it, certain emotes during the race for your ending jump off, and if you place one first, second, or third, you can do like a trick thing. Kind of cool. So just look at the cinematic style of this before you get going. It's kind of weird how they have all these, you know, sort of starting things. I don't know. I think it's kind of funny. So here we go. I've got the race. Everything's got like a big fat sort of start to it. I'm really not paying attention at all here. In the bottom left, you can see how the track is. It doesn't give you a great indication of what's going on, but it is pretty clear cut as to where people are and the general format of the direction you're going to be turning. Top left, you can see your time, my position. I've got my, ooh crap, yeah, you can have a custom character, which I for some reason don't have selected, even though I thought I was doing the campaign thing. Whatever, we'll switch that up after. Top right, you can see your best time, and the bottom right, you can see your general speed, your gear, and everything like that. And again, there's a lot of customization in terms of how difficult or how crazy you'd like it. So I kind of went out here. We're going to click RB, and we're going to do a rewind. So you can kind of control how that looks, pick a spot you like. It's fairly intuitive. You move forward and backwards in time. nice and easy going. And then you go back into the action. It's just honestly an easier way to play a game, like a racing game. You just have more fun with it, in my opinion. I mean, some people are really technical about it, and obviously you can turn it off like I showed, so that is present. Generally, I think the arenas are well done. There are a plethora of arenas. There are tons of authentic riders, you know, tons of custom parts that are, you know, based off of the actual sporting event itself. I like the visuals. I think they look quite good. Nice dirt. You get a sense of really cutting up the terrain, especially in the earlier rounds. You can really, I'll show that off in the editor, the track editor. You can really see the grooves from the dirt. But notice how fast and snappy it is to actually get you back in the race once you do mess up. Because I mean, otherwise, you know, it's just kind of like a doom and gloom on this one, just based on like, you know, how fast-paced the action is on this one. Wow, I really am botching that spot up. Just gonna go back a little bit further, I guess. Yeah, I find it kind of like you gotta just sort of hold the gas down and just go over these crazy bumps sometimes, or you gotta like ride the curve and then you can get up and then like launch yourself over to the next one. Different little tactics. I mean, I'm not huge on this particular sporting event, so I don't really care too much, but I thought it would be sort of fun to play and check out, just because I do find these kind of games a little bit entertaining at times. So yeah, I mean, generally, I think the visuals are pretty good. They capture and present a very authentic take on the sport, I generally think. You get cool movement. You can see in the players, they articulate and ragdoll quite well. You're seeing the little air kind of like ruffling the jersey. It's a nice little touch. The visuals look quite good. Again, very dirty and kind of mucky. And you also see sort of like a little bit of weather effects too in certain situations. And hopefully I'll be able to turn that on a little bit later so you get an idea of what that's like. I'm just kind of showing off a general race so that you get an idea, you know, just what it's like to do one of the campaign modes. So when you're in the campaign, like the career, you have a sponsor, and then you've got sponsorship goals you got to meet. You can do like you get a calendar days. So on these calendar days, you get to basically pick what you're doing. It's like, do I want to do a training day, and then you go into like the practice mode and you got to hit goals, or do I want to do, I don't know, let's say a PR day, and then you go meet with fans or you meet with the press, and there's lots of different options that are present in that situation. Seems to be like a longer race. I feel like I picked the wrong setting to jump into this one. Anyways, the arenas kind of are similar to a degree just because of the nature of what this is, but I think they're quite varied, and they offer a little bit of variation in it. Varied in variation, of course. But yeah, the tracks are different, lots of different challenges to them. As you're already seeing with this one, it's a great example because you're seeing, you know, kind of these small little mogul type jumps, and then you're seeing the larger ones. And I know the technical aspects are probably not 100% on par. Jeez, I'm having some difficulty with this. But you get what I'm trying to communicate with this one. Oh good, we're jumping over this. Nice, we're on the final lap. Just gonna finish it off so you can see a full race. We'll probably do maybe bits of races just so you can see some different level variations. But I do really want to show off the customized cheese today in this game, because it is quite well done. An easy way to share off what you're doing in the game. These weird stretches of long road. It's not used to that in racing titles. Yeah, I think it handles quite well too. The bikes seem to, but I'm not too amazing at this. I also am not used to this type of racing because it's so it's bike based and it's very tight knit. Just you're constantly having to adjust your direction, where you're headed, your speeds. Kind of neat. You're also seeing that I'm getting certain like markings as I'm racing. They're showing up on the top middle occasionally as I perform like a certain feat or something like that. So there's that extra layer on top of it, which is nice. And I see the fire. I guess he made it over the jump, just like this guy took my second place. Great. And then it goes into like a showtime thing, and then wow, I did. Yeah, okay. all slow-mo and cool. And then the outside of the track, I think it looks pretty good. Continue along. See the championship thing. I don't know, I think they animate the characters and everything fairly well and capture the essence of it. See, look at me leveling all up. Fantastic. Really making my way. But yeah, you get to like completely customize your character, and your experience is really personalized in this, especially the more you play as you unlock new things. It does seem to load fairly fast, I think, and I haven't really noticed any performance problems throughout a number of races across a number of tracks. Alright, so we're in the main menu. We're going to take a look at the track editor and then jump into another race. So we're just going to do a new track, nice and easy going. We'll do a, I don't know, let's do an outdoor one. Different options for sizes too, if you'd like. And then you just jump in and you kind of get to build your own little track. It's fairly intuitive. You can test it. We'll do this standoff. You can see you can rotate objects and choose the positioning. And then you can do like weird curves, or you could do straights and whoops. You know, gotta have a lot of those and mix it up a bit. And you can do big jumps, and then you can do specials, and you can do finish lines, nice and easy. And just gonna jump in there and we'll test it out, I guess, right? Kind of getting a different perspective on this, just so you can see that. You can change the camera angle with the back button, just so you can actually see how it's turned out. And then you can actually try the track at any point. It just does a quick render thing, kind of like, I guess, Forge and Halo to a degree, if I can make that comparison in this one. And then it loads up. Does take a second or so, but I mean, it's got to bake the lighting and everything, so it's not too bad. Alright, here we are. We're testing it. Notice how we're actually really curving up the dirt in this. It's really getting those deep breaks in it, which is awesome. There's different perspectives too, by clicking the back button. And first person, if you want to get like really into the action, if you're one of these intense guys like this. I wonder if we'll eventually start calling this like the VR angle or something. Anyways, you get what I mean. And we can go in like the goggle mask style if you want to get really intense. I mean, the choice is obviously up to you how you'd like to experience it, but you're seeing the custom track that I got going, playing up on the big screen there. What? Nice. And we're going to switch out and do another race, because I think that's a good indication of showcasing off the game. Alright, we jumped into career. I guess I just did a quick match last time, so I apologize about that. This is just kind of my custom character. You can change your bike and your outfit. You can kind of see your season agenda. And what I had just done, I did some promotional days. I did some meeting the journalists, meeting the fans, and just kind of the week schedule in it. You're basically like working stuff up, and then you've got your contracts. I'm with the Nut Up group, and it lasts so long, and then you pick a different one, and based on your performance and the type of contract you get extra currency. Pretty cool. We're going to back out, though, because instead of doing the whole career thing, because I kind of just went over it a bit for you, we're going to do another custom race, but I want to kind of mix up the options a bit. Okay, this one is indoor. I need something outdoor, because I want to show off, you know, the weather. I always like showing off the weather effects in games, as I think that's a good indication of sort of performance and quality. We're gonna do rain, and we're gonna do short, and that looks pretty good. I like that. And then we're gonna do, if you do a rider select, just to kind of show it off, all these official riders, custom riders. Throw myself in there, I guess, so you get an idea of the options available. Create your own character, whatever you want. And we're going to jump into the race, which is pretty cool. There's a fair bit of options in terms of customization, but I wouldn't say that the character customizer is anything too amazing. It's not bad, it's just like, you know, it's a decent character customizer. The game has a fair bit of content to it. I think it does emulate the particular event quite well. It seems authentic to it. It seems like there's quite a bit going on in this one. The rain's going on. And I mean, they definitely seem to put a good effort in terms of actually, you know, presenting what it would be like to watch this type of thing. At least from what I guess. Surprisingly good representation for different areas. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It wasn't showing up. Start race. Cool. Got the lady out there, of course. In the rain. Ain't nothing. She don't care. See, rain's not bad. And I think generally, like texture-wise and everything, the game looks pretty good. Runs pretty well. This is what I like. You know, fire, lots of muck and dirt and grime. Really good showcase of the visual quality of this game. I mean, I think it's decent. If you like this type of game, or this type of like sporting thing, I think it emulates it quite well. You know, gives you a good simulation. Oh yeah, this one's got the different sort of dirt texture. Jeez, what is going on with this? I'm getting like no momentum going. There we go. See, this is like just this dirty, like kind of wet material going on here in this little bit different of a textured dirt in this spot. I know, I think the bikes handle quite well. There's a good variety of them. Again, lots of like authentic options are present in terms of the different brands that are available to these racing people and these riders. I can't say I'm familiar with the first entry in this series. I just kind of ignored it when it was coming out. But then I was like, you know what, it'd be a nice kind of different sort of racing game to try out, right? Something a little bit more wild and wacky and casual and fun. Not to say it can't be competitive, because I mean, you know, that you've got different difficulty options. Just for me, it's something a little bit different to experience. And of course, you know, generally overall in the package, you've got a couple different tournaments to play. You've got a career mode to work through that's got like PR stuff to it, which I guess is like an extra layer to the quality. Something else to do in it while you're, you know, racing along. It's got the full presentation. You can just do quick racing if you'd like to. Obviously, it's got the online multiplayer if you want to race against others online. You know, if you want even more of a challenge, or you want to race against your friends, you can do so in custom games or matchmaking. Kind of essential options, to be honest, when it comes to racing titles these days, even if they don't always have the longest communities. Looking at you, Dirt. Or was it not Dirt? Gravel? Pretty good game, by the way. Check that out. It's also got a little bit of a dirty one. I don't know, it's just nice to see all these sort of mechanics at play and really like testing out the game and what it can do. Because I mean, daytime, yeah, whatever, that's just a casual thing, but we've got this rain, you got the muck, you've got like the lighting going on, the grime, the dirt on the jerseys. You can see like how sort of like moist the jerseys are and how the material's getting all messed up because of it. I think that's probably cool, and I hope I'm not angering anyone too much in terms of how I'm racing along here. I'm sure there's particular techniques that people that are well versed in doing this kind of thing would be like, whoa, you're not supposed to be doing that in this, but I don't know, I think I'm doing alright. Just kind of having a good time racing around. Generally, whoa, what the heck happened there? That was pretty sad. Generally overall, I think it's pretty good. Jeez, okay. I think it has a lot of good options. It has all the standard features you would expect in a racing title today, and it handles fairly well, believe it or not, even if I'm not driving greatly. I'm just honestly not used to this type of racing game, so it's a nice little mix-up for me, you know, something new. It doesn't hurt to go out of the comfort zone and try some new game. I found some real gems by doing that, so I'm always interested in new things to try out. And I think this has been a pretty good look at the game. Let's show off a couple different camera angles again quickly so you can see the rain effect on this one. Whoa, that is way too intense for me. Like right in this. Oh, yeah, okay. Third person is my go-to for this kind of experience. You know what? Since we're on the final lap, we're just gonna finish it off, because why not, right? Might as well, just to showcase a little bit extra of this. And I hope this has been a fair presentation of the experience and what to expect if you're interested in how it is. I imagine, you know, they generally improve things over the first one. Oh, lots of little details too in terms of like hitting things. The world's got like a lot of physics to it as far as like hitting the walls or pushing certain objects, and yeah, it's just a nice little touch. Because you know, back in the day with these kind of racing games, you kind of, or any game really, every object would just be like a stuck object, and you wouldn't have any type of like interaction with it, which was kind of lame, to be honest. So what's going on there? Maybe it's the wet grass, the wet dirt. I don't appreciate you coming up behind there. Oh, I think we're on the final hurdle here. If I can keep it together. That's not good. Definitely not good. I totally choked up, but you know what? That's fine. I'm not gonna reverse. I'm just gonna let it be. Because I don't care. I'm having a good time. And I hope this has presented the game well enough so you get an idea of what to expect if you are hoping to jump into the experience and ride the bikes and drive around and, you know, do the little Monster Cross or Monster Energy motocross thing. Oh, come on. No, get out of here. Jeez.